It has been but a Karazhan week, and we are once more assembled for more Call of Cthulhu. Introduce yourselves in no particular order, investigators.
Everyone's too polite to talk.
Clockwise. Introduce yourselves clockwise.
Wait,
Yes.
clockwise in who's upside
by
down?
the table, by the table.
Where are the stairs?
With the shins, you fucking...
Okay, as the German efficiency manager here, I have to take charge. So my name is Kleika, obviously, but my in-game name is Martin Schmidt. For I like the ski jumps, and I am a soldier who also has an architecture degree. So yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
My name's Luke, and I'm playing Violet Carter, who's a large rich bitch.
And has an elephant gun, and is not afraid
And has
to
an
use
elephant
it.
gun. In fact,
Pretty smart.
has had 3 elephant guns, but they keep blowing up.
Has survived all 3 explosions of elephant gun.
We also have...
Go for it.
My name's Halloween. I'm playing Dr. Daniel Grant, who's a doctor. He likes shooting people though.
in his pajamas.
Normally, yeah.
And finally, we have...
I am Rufertio. I'm playing Lasse Hasse Åberg, who is a Swede and surly.
Unfortunately, we do not have Ollie Dag with us at present, who would be playing the more light-fingered member of the party that you had.
He went off to farm Spagnum, if I'm not mistaken.
I think at present he may have realised that the heat is on in what you are doing and has decided his character has decided to take a step back quite wisely. Does anyone need a summary of what happened in the previous adventures? Raise
I
your
think
hands.
the audience might like a summary.
Certainly. After some minor investigations into various Cthulian things which involved a visit to the house of Walter Corbett and dealing with a troublesome beast in the attic of a farmhouse, you were called to somebody's residence, where you met Daniel Grant, to look into the disappearance of somebody's son. This ultimately led you to a building that was being used by the Black Knife Cult. You were informed of the Black Knife Cult by a person that had previously dealt with the Black Knife Cult in England called Fred Milton. Unfortunately, at the same time, 2 of the investigators were in the house of an associate of the Black Knife Cult, and one of them died. But that's a different story. You went to this house to try and find evidence of what was going on, encountered a horrible stone-like monster that kept attacking you, and it all ended with explosions and grenades and the house being heavily damaged. That went as it went. Then you started to get attacked by various people shortly afterwards, and you found out that the Black Knife Cult were a lot stronger than you first thought. You tracked down their base of operations within Boston, where you found that they had summoned a horrific entity in a ritual, which one of you identified as one of the many forms of Nyarlathotep. You also...
Did we in character identify this, or
yes,
did someone
one
just
of you
comment?
actually did identify it. Managed to succeed a mythos roll. You were also discovered various items, including some books that you took. You have been taking Mythosian tomes as you've been going along, and you also found a very smooth gem-like item that you took with you. And then Stravinsky leaned into something and disappeared into a realm of nothingness. The next thing you did was that you then fled America to England after being informed that Fred Milton had an associate that could help you, and also being attacked by some invisible entity that was able to destroy walls and everything that it touched. You went on a ship, Daniel Grant shot some people, ended up having somebody getting implicated in the shootings of said people, but you cleared that up. And while working with Chester Bernades, your current benefactor in his estate, you sidelined a little bit to deal with a weird entity in an apartment block that was being built. You managed to take care of that. And when we left the investigators, you had discovered that your benefactor, Chester Bernades, had been doing some very peculiar things. You discovered a room full of dead bodies. You managed to stop him from doing something you don't quite know what in his room. You thought he was trying to summon some monster. And you ultimately found out that he'd been feeding the ghouls these bodies. He didn't kill them himself, he did say. And in exchange, they had been giving him knowledge and teaching him. and you had managed somewhat to talk him down, because he'd explained about how his family were all killed and some such. And as far as I've gathered, the general plan of your group is that you're going to try your best to keep your eye on Chester Bernades, considering how fragile he is, while you are studying the book that Daniel Grant went to Liverpool to go and get, the Somnium Somnus, which may shed some light on this mysterious gem that was fished up off the shores near Liverpool, and the ship that fished it up promptly sank in mysterious circumstances. So your plan was to keep an eye on Chester, and if he deteriorated too much, you would get somebody who would be able to take care of him. Is this correct?
Yeah,
Sounds right.
take him to a sanatorium if he misbehaved.
To summarise as well, the two people that you know of in the Black Knife cult, apart from Smithy, the axe-wielding guy that you killed, there was Daniel Weatherford, who you met in that house when you were looking for that son, and he escaped. He also escaped Daniel on the boat. And there's also a relation of his, Ben Weatherford, who you saw at the in the base of operations they had in Boston. You've also, anybody that has read the Morticus, which I do believe one of you has at least, knows that that is written by a Nathaniel Weatherford. Although that
I
was
got that one, I think.
Yep, that was written
Yeah.
in the 1800s, the mid to early 1800s, so you do not think that person is alive anymore, I'd imagine. To be specific, the Morticus Volume 1 was written in 1837, and the picture of Nathaniel in that is a man in his 50s. So he was in his 50s in 1837, so nearly 100 years ago. So what's basically going to happen at this point is that a month passes while Violet reads the Somnium Somnus. I believe it was Violet that was going to be reading it.
Yeah, man, books are dope. Stay in school, kids.
The following things happen while that occurs. For saving Charles Bernard from what he was going to do, everybody gains 4 sanity points.
Hooray!
So
I
Violet's
am so sane.
Violet's sanity goes up to 46, and
58.
I feel like that's one of those very diegetic stats where if in real life you talk to someone, they were like, yeah, man, my sanity has improved by 4 points, you would be profoundly worried.
You'd be like, well, you'd lose
Schmitz
sanity points if they told you that.
Which is fine.
I mean, I just
and
lost like 2 sanity points listening to Kiko explain everything that happened.
Yours is at 58, was it, Hussey?
Yeah, well,
That's good, because you gain another 3 for killing that monster in the apartment block.
oh boy.
So
Am I
you-
still half dead?
Wait, the Swede killed it?
You all were involved in it.
Oh, wait, so
I'm
we all
all-
gained
You
sanity for
all
that.
gained the sanity.
I'm
Oh,
assuming
word.
the half of my body I lost is back on.
You mean your hit points? Yes, you will have regained all of your hit points.
I gave you some bandages.
Oh, thank
You
you.
will have all regained your hit points in that month. Violet's hit.
You are a
I
considerate lover, Daniel.
I do not know how much HP I have, for my character sheet says 12.
That is your maximum then.
Wait, 12?
Yeah.
Isn't HP normally in like the 50s or so?
No. Hit points is worked out as, I will consult.
Oh, so wait, just to summarize, we've all gained 7 sanity.
You've all gained 7 sanity, yes.
Yeah.
Hit points is worked out as your. It's a combination of 2 different stats. Of course, I'm trying to figure it out. Multiply. I think it's your con and your size. Added together, halved. So you might have slightly.
37.
Your con and your
37 brutal.
con and your
So,
size.
like,
Your con
13?
is 12. Your con is 12. Your size is 15. So 27,
27.
halved.
Half 13.
13. So your max is 13. Well, no, it's rounded. Might be rounded up. Either way, keep it at 14. Your hit points are at 14 on
Okay.
mine, so that's what they are. Okay. People gain skills as well.
Yes.
Violet, your Latin goes up to 57%.
That's a lot of Latin.
You gain a single point of Persuade, which goes up to 16%.
Your salsa increases as well by 10%.
Your Listen skill raises to 34%.
My persuade is already 15? You say it goes to 16?
It goes up to 16. You gained a single percentage. Daniel Grant's, your first aid goes up to 61%.
Oh, yeah.
And your psychoanalysis goes up to 37%.
Let's go.
Fucking psycho.
Hasi,
Kiko, just quickly, sorry to be. What was the last one? What was the last skill?
listen, 34.
All right.
I've still
Hasi,
got 2 stars on handgun and
you
dodge,
didn't
though.
actually gain anything in those.
Oh, okay.
Because I need to roll above your current skill in that for it to raise, and when they get
Righto.
really high, it's difficult. Hasi,
Yeah, well,
Your track
no,
is-
fuck.
your track is 50% now. You gain 10% in that skill.
That's a lot of track.
You also gain 10% in rifle,
Oh, hold on.
Rifle.
and so you're 35% rifle, and now you're at 24% geology because you gain 3% in that.
Do you hear that, Rufus? You are 35% rifle.
What was it? What was the geology again?
Geology is now at your geology is now at
30 something.
yes, I'm trying to figure out 24%, and your geography is now at 35.
It was 24. It started at 24.
Oh, in that case it's 26. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. And the other one?
Rifle 35
And the photography?
didn't go up.
Okay. Chemistry didn't go up.
Didn't go up.
Didn't go up.
Schmidt, your listen has increased by 2% to 69%.
69. Nice.
Your other language, English, has increased by 6% to 46%.
Finally, I can talk to people.
You can talk to people even better than you could. You could talk just fine.
Nice.
I will inform you that the following things happen in that month. Firstly, you're keeping a sort of watchful eye on Chester, and although he's a bit nervous and anxious, you're very, I imagine one of you is making sure he doesn't go down to see the ghouls. And you've probably blocked up the entrance in the kitchen. Am I correct?
Well, I'd hope so.
Doing that,
We could remove his legs. That would prevent that.
I do not recommend
I
removing
can break
Oh.
his legs.
I do not recommend removing his legs. But he does not, as far as you know, visit them again. And although he is very fragile, he doesn't deteriorate that you can see. He actually improves a little bit upon not visiting the ghouls. You don't hear anything from the ghouls at all.
Lack of contact with mythos creatures improves sanity. What?
You don't hear they neither come up to see you, nor does anyone go down to see them. I imagine you probably dealt with the bodies in his room.
I brought them outside and just buried them in the backyard.
Fair enough.
For
Well, stay
reference,
with-
just as a story point, he was reasonably horrified when we confronted him with the bodies, right?
Yeah, he reacted to it.
Yeah.
Remind me of those bodies.
They were bodies.
They were dead.
When you said dead bodies, had they been nibbled on? Were they ready? Were they things he was going to feed to the ghouls? Had they already had
Yeah,
them?
he was going to feed. He's going to offer them to the ghouls to feed.
Oh, okay.
Now
Never
they
mind.
feed the daisies in the backyard.
As far as you
I have a list of stuff.
As far as you'd worked out, the ghoul, it wasn't him who'd done the killing.
Okay.
He just
I
came
have
across
an
some
old
dead
list of
bodies.
stuff here for stuff Hasa needed to do, and there was something about examining wounds and shit, and I was wondering if they were the ones that had the wounds, but if they were just corpses, generic, then
You've
never
also
mind.
got a letter, Hasi, during this month.
Oh boy.
It's very formally worded and very brief. It's from
Oi,
the society that you wanted to send him off to. All of your findings, and they have thanked you for your submission. And that's it.
Oh, that's all right. Nice.
It's all they've said.
Comes.
And after a month of general, you keep yourselves busy and do various small things, and mostly keeping an eye on Chester, Violet finishes reading the Somnium Somnus. Violet, you lose 2 sanity for this.
Wow, rude.
So you're back down to, what's your sanity now?
My sanity would be 51.
51. Right. You also gain some mythos, and your mythos is now at 19%.
It's a lot of mythos.
It's
Yeah.
getting close to the point where it will start eroding into your maximum sanity.
By the way, are we using the Wizard's Dice Roller today?
You're free to use it. I'm going to use some dice that I
I've
have.
got the online dice roller
Yep.
from Brock Jones.
Oh, could you link that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
You can link that, but I'm just
I'll
going to...
rely on you, Kiko.
Okay.
Oh wait, we can have Kiko roll?
If
So
you...
Kiko, you said mythos is now 20.
Your mythos is now 19.
19?
19.
Still a teenager.
I can tell you some information about the Somnium Somnus that you now know. This is a translation of an ancient text concerning Roman myths based around dreams, and specifically Somnus, the Roman deity of dreams. It talks in vague manners of the ideals and workings of the great god and of the artifacts that he gifted to his chosen people. This translation is only partially accurate, you think, but translator having been forced to fill in the gaps where many pages and words have been worn away from the original text due to the passage of time or damage. There is a spell, you believe, that you actually just know from reading the book. Put down that you know the spell Destroy the Shackles.
Dude, that's some...
Violet goes back to America, cants the spell.
Exactly, I was about to say,
The,
I'm getting abolitionist stuff in here.
I will read you the extract that is pertained to be interesting from the book. The sacred vessel of our most powerful lord, which protects it from the touch of those not worthy of knowing it exists. The cocoon where the Great One sleeps, slumbers away the eons, waiting for when the time is right to emerge and lead humanity into a glorious era of enlightenment and euphoria. A hammer of silver in the holy liquid metal, and the liquid of life that flows through all of us, the chant of power that fuels our Lord's sacred rebirth, the vessel, chained and bound on the altar stained with the lifeblood of man, the tear on the chest of the sacred honoured one, who will bring the sleeper to the world of the awake, the strike that brings the Great One to us. The sleeper shall awaken. Glory to the sleeper. You know, Violet, that this book refers to that item that you have, this weird gem. It is referred to as the Tear of Maris. That is what it is referred to as the text, and you believe that it is a vessel for this sleeper. And the Destroy the Shackles spell, if you were to perform it, would release it. I could tell you in detail what you need to do for the spell, but it does involve various things like a human sacrifice, and an altar that has already been had a human sacrifice upon it, and a hammer made of silver bathed in mercury for a week, and you have a spell now to free this entity.
All sounds like a bit of an ovary ache.
Sounds like a good idea right there, Violet.
Nah, it's human sacrifice, we're past that point.
And you own this thing.
Excellent.
Is there anything that you're going to do imminently now that you have this information?
Well, not cast it, presumably.
Not cast it. Okay.
I mean, I hope that Violet shares this information with everyone, that there is a thingy.
Does that mean everyone else takes sanity hits too?
No, not from the information being relayed to you. No.
Relay what?
She took the sanity loss for using reading information, and now she can use that book as a reference material if she so chooses.
So I'm like a sanity tank.
At the moment you are. The moment you are. What are you going to immediately do on with this information, if anything?
Well, I thought we concluded that the primary thing we were going to do was to figure out how to prevent this thing from falling into the hands of the groovy dudes who want to let everything out. Because I think we've broadly agreed that letting whatever it is out was a bad idea with a capital B, and that given that it hadn't tossing it into the ocean had been fished up out of the ocean, that probably wouldn't work very well. And so I think we were looking for other ways of dealing with it.
Okay.
Get some good pictures though.
I mean, I buried the bodies in the backyard. I can bury the gem in the backyard too.
Don't think that'll work though.
If
you bury it at sea and then they fish it back up again,
it'll just grow into a big gem tree, and there'll be like tons of them.
that'd be bad.
It's a deep hole.
Okay.
Do like the colours out of space. Just stick it in the well and wait till weird shit happens.
So you're going to spend some time deliberating about this. Chester.
Oh wait, no, actually, I'm going to go to the an appropriate library. I mean, probably the British Library, the most obvious one given the period this is set in, and do research. Given that I now am armed with the actual name.
Okay, you're going to start doing some research.
Time for some library use.
You're going to be sort of going there and then ferrying yourself back and forth. I take it, Violet.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, what
after about a day or two of that, 2 days, you're heading. You've not yet headed out to go back to the British Museum. There is a knock, a rather loud knock at the door, the front door. Thank you for the dramatization of the loud knock on the door.
wasn't that loud though.
Is anyone going?
Well,
Don't make it louder.
Are we inside a massive boiler? Because that sounded weird.
Is anyone going to answer the
Because it was
door?
behind the microphone.
Well, why don't we see who it is by looking out the window like brain geniuses?
It's the police. There is a quite big van, and there are about 3 of them. They're not armed.
Someone yells, "Cheese it!" It's the fuzz.
The police is not armed?
They're not armed.
Oh, right. Wait, this is England, of course.
Back then they could very easily have had equipment, but they're
pitchforks and...
They're not armed. They're just knocking. You don't appear to see any sort of things to force entry. They're knocking.
Schmidt very quickly goes to a room from which he can see the backyard and just does a quick overview of that. You can't see anymore that he had buried the bodies there.
Yeah, it's pretty. You did a pretty good job of burying them.
Nice.
There's another knock on the door.
We should probably answer the door.
Yes.
Are we gonna go to answer
wait,
the door?
Chester should answer the door. This is his house.
All right.
Wait, no, he's sleeping.
He is sleeping, actually. Yes, he is sleeping.
The doctor should answer the door, and I shall wake up Chester because this is his house.
Okay.
All right, I'll answer the door then.
You'll answer the door. Morning.
It is.
Am I to understand this is the residence of a Chester Bernard?
Yes, it is. He is currently sleeping. We're going to wake him up.
And you are a Dr. Daniel Grant?
Yes.
You fit the description. May we please come in?
You sure?
I think
Yep.
At this point, have I?
So you're letting them in?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's the popo. You got to let the popo.
Fair enough. You let them in, and they come in, and the guy. Can you assemble all of your fellows, please? There's a matter of urgency I wish to discuss with them.
I make the assembling the fellows tooting noise.
Man arrives wearing apron with blood all the way up to his elbows.
He doesn't comment on that.
I arrive with Chester in tow, I guess. Who I've woken.
Chester is a little groggy. He does not recognize the man that is in front of you.
Okay.
What? Wait, he doesn't recognize the policeman?
He doesn't recognize the man specifically. He recognizes him
is
as
it just one? Wait, sorry, is it one policeman or 2?
3 have come in.
Oh my word! It's like a parliament of policemen.
It's an assortment.
What formation are they in? Like triangle or?
They're in a line.
You're in a phalanx.
What?
Towards
us?
Are you all assembled?
Yes.
Okay. Forgive me for the bluntness of my statement, but I'm going to have to ask you all to come with us. Please assemble any weapons that you have been using and bring them with you.
The fun!
Fred Milton said that you were armed.
No, I meant, why do we need to come with you? On what charge?
You're not under arrest. Fred Milton advised us that you would be essential in the phase of this operation.
Oh.
Oh, I see. So you're just giving us a ride.
Partially, sir.
Partially.
And what sort of operation would this be?
I'm not at liberty to discuss that until you are there.
All right, can we have a couple of minutes to discuss this?
Well, they haven't asked for the weapons. They've asked for us to come with our weapons.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true,
Which means that we should just arm up and go with them, because what's the worst that happens? They try and fight us.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I
love
guess.
the idea of like 4 people like transit or 5 people transit the house like with with rucksacks of weapons like clunk clunk.
just literally just walking around like a bank robber with a duffel bag with 300 guns.
For reference, if you remember that Fred Milton is had gone to go and seek the Black Knife cult and evidence of them in England. That was why he's not with you right now.
Right, yeah. So, I guess we should go then. Should we all go?
Yeah,
Yes.
do it.
Let's arm up. All right.
Getting all
grab
my
our stuff.
shit.
Point
We
of
have
me
our own
grab my
car,
shit.
don't we?
I don't know
have-
what weapon I have, but
You have the
grab it.
massive
If you don't-
tranquilizer rifle, as far as I recall.
You also have not only do you have the elephant gun, Violet, you also have that enchanted sword. Do not forget.
Oh yeah, I'll dual wield.
because this is the thing which I'm like a little weirded out by, is that on my character sheet I have nothing about what items I have. Which
Write that tranquilizer rifle down. You had that.
tranquilizer.
I
rifle?
wouldn't necessarily worry about it, Klyka. If you don't have a
Okay.
weapon, I wouldn't worry right now.
Okay.
You're all dead anyway.
While everyone grabs their actual weapons, Martin Schmidt acts as if he's carrying a very heavy machine gun.
Well, we've got tons of weapons. We've got spares. We can give him a gun. It's no problem.
That will be fine.
Give him a shotgun or something.
You will. So, you have Violent Carter has the elephant gun and the
sword.
The sword. I believe that our good old friend Hussey is armed with.
Well, he's taking a tranquilizer gun, then a bunch of fucking cameras, his flash powder
Okay.
shit, and a machete.
More importantly, Grant has his 1911, I believe.
More importantly than a
Got my-
camera.
Got my. Yeah. Let's just check. Yes.
You have your 19.
With my correct British permit.
With your
I'll take my
correct
gun.
British permit, yes. Very important that you have that with your correct British permit. Do you remember what we put this under for damage? I'm looking for it. What caliber is that?
What, the
1911.
the pistol?
Yes.
It's a 45.
45, right, that's fine, that's all I need. And do not worry, Kliker, you will be sorted.
I see.
They'll send you in with meat strapped around you.
You
and throw
will,
you down first.
Uzi 9
When you have assembled everything that you want to take with you, are you taking the gem with you?
We can't very well leave Chester here alone with it.
No, you might eat it.
Or
or something.
Chester alone at all.
The man actually makes a point of suggesting that you take the thing with you.
Wait, the policeman knows about the
The
jet.
policeman has been asked to tell you to bring it with you.
What?
Okay, well that means he's obviously
the
acting
way
under
he says
instructions
it
from,
is he goes,
this dude.
it is requested that you bring the object with you.
Okay, in that case, I would like to, when we go get the things, geology a little bit and see if I can find something that looks vaguely like it that we will have and tell them is it.
There is nothing that you have that's like it.
Wait, I was about to say, what do you want to take with us?
This
A big red tomato?
This is an item that is unlike anything you've ever
Yeah,
seen.
but this guy doesn't know that. The guy who's told him to get it knows what it looks like. So if we find out he's up to no good, we can give him the fake one and make an escape, hopefully, and still bring the real one, but not tell him it's a real one unless he turns out to be legit.
Yeah, also it means if agents shop, we can all be like, oh, we left it behind. They're like, oh, sick,
Fucking
we got the
Thin
rock.
Man.
You know.
Okay, so you're going to find... You try your best to find a facsimile. I will roll a geology check for you to see if you
Oh,
can
good
find
man.
a suitable facsimile.
Goes into the backyard, picks up a stone. Yes, this looks like an ancient.
You have picked up something that you believe is a suitable enough facsimile for it.
Okay, but he doesn't know what it looks like, so anyone who knows what it is will immediately...
Do you have everything that you require then?
Yes.
Yeah, I got all that stuff. I hope.
In that
Is
case,
Chester coming with us as well?
no.
Okay.
So we'll lock him up then
When
in
Chester
the...
suggests that he wants to come along, the policeman looks at you and says, I'm sorry, sir, but you are not invited.
He had the Elder Sign room, right?
He has that room.
We'll lock him in there.
Wait, you're gonna what? He's gonna die from
No, not-
starvation.
You don't
No,
know
he's
how...
in there.
You don't know how
I'll be gone
long...
weeks. I can't lock
You
him.
don't know how long
Seriously?
he's going to
There's
be.
a sack of potatoes
He
in the
says
pantry.
that he'll
We'll
be...
throw that in-
I'll be fine by myself. I will be. I'll go and stay with a relative of mine.
Yeah.
It's
I
fine.
make sure to tell Chester to not go back to
I'm going to
Liverpool.
stay with a relative.
You do
I've
that.
Long...
I note my protest.
You... With that, you are politely, not shoved, escorted to the back of this large vehicle.
Can we have our own one?
You are not going in your own vehicle for this.
Oh, fuck. I brought a lot of shit.
You're not going in your own vehicle. They will put it in the place with you, in the back. It is quite cramped with all of your stuff in there.
Yes.
But when you are put in the back, it starts driving. And you are in that room, the back there, with two other policemen. You note that these two policemen are armed, but they do not have the weapon in their hands right now and are sitting in absolute silence.
At least this isn't awkward at all then.
It's very awkward. There is a certain atmosphere of imminentness.
We should whisper some of the things we've seen at them, see if it makes them roll sanity checks.
I would like, just for a note here, to try and sketch all the policemen. Just a little face of them in
Okay.
my notebook as he sits there, probably not talked to because his English is shit.
Right?
Just
you,
so
you
we
make,
can
you make sketches of the policemen. They don't
Very
seem
fine.
bothered by it.
So if they turn out to be fake policemen, then you
We'll
can be
know.
like, fake policemen look like this.
The journey.
No, it's just easier to describe someone if you have a picture of them
Yeah,
later.
The only thing that you sort of gather as the journey goes along is that you are heading west. You're heading west.
I've heard it's peaceful there.
And eventually, it's getting to quite late in the day when the car abruptly stops. There is the sound of a lot of commotion outside. Not panicked commotion, but orderly voices. The back of the car is opened, and you see that you are in a large open area surrounded by fields, and there are a lot of military people here. Not just police, there are military people here. Soldiers. About 2-3 dozen of them.
And Hoover, who made it to England.
The wonderful Schmidt, who, being a soldier, obviously knows like the ranks of a former enemy army.
They are very low ranked.
I see. He looks around for the highest ranked
In
officer.
that case, you will not want to look for an officer. You will want to look to the tent that you are being motioned towards. You see in the distance, not far away, there is a building, a big farmhouse building, and it has been barricaded from the inside with various planks of wood blocking the windows. Various soldiers are in defensive positions with guns aimed at it.
I see. So this is like a standoff, basically. Okay.
You're being motioned towards a tent. Are you going to go to it?
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
I mean, Kika, I'm a little bit worried because I feel like I've got a low stress life. This all looks a bit intense.
Inside the tent is a familiar face in the form of Fred Milton, and an unfamiliar face of the man next to him. The man next to him is a person in his 50s. He's black-haired, it's starting to grey and recede, and he is dressed in casual clothing.
Can I get just a quick refresher on who Fred Milton was?
Fred
again?
Milton is a former investigator that you encountered in Boston, and he's fought the Black Knife cult before. He thought he'd eliminated them with his associates in 1907. But evidently, when you brought evidence to him about the Black Knife cult, it was clear that they had not entirely been destroyed. And he's sort of been working with you. For a while, he's been away looking for the Black Knife cult, and you now believe he might have found them. This man that's next to him is dressed in sort of casual attire. You note that he has a baton, like a wooden baton at his side. He also has a rifle slung over his back, a .22 bolt action, and a gun holstered at his waist as well.
Can I size him up? Does he seem military?
He doesn't seem military specifically, no.
I don't mean like from his clothes or whatever, but like his demeanor, his stance.
He's certainly authoritarian, but not military.
Okay.
Anybody that has Cthulhu Mythos, roll Cthulhu Mythos.
We'll do it.
He rolls it. It's like, this
11.
is Cthulhu.
You
this
pass.
is Cthulhu right there.
5.
You pass, do you?
Yeah, I got 11.
Excellent. Neither of the other two have Cthulhu Mythos, do they?
Yeah.
So Mythos, right?
Both of you recognize hanging from the man next to Fred's neck is an elder sign on a necklace.
A portable
Elder signs are known as devices, as symbols that are imbued with magic that can be used to ward off evil entities from trying to enter into certain rooms. Upon seeing you, Fred Milton smiles, but he lets his associate do the talking for him. I'm glad you could come at such short notice. My name is Albert Johnson, Chief Investigator for Scotland Yard. I'll be brief.
Hi, Albert.
Fred's told me that you guys have been hot on the trail of the Black Knife cult. I'm the one who headed the attack on them in 1907 with Milton and my other friends. The things I saw down there I'll never forget, and I'm sure many of the men I sent down there won't forget either. Those that came back. Horrible monsters and depraved rituals, things I never thought that even the devil would use against us. But it was real, and it happened, and we dealt with it. Or so I thought. Fred's told me a lot of things, and shown me a lot of evidence that the Black Knife cult are back, or rather that they never really were stamped out in the first place. And here we are. their newest base of operations, as far as I can tell. I want to know all the evidence that you lot have against these people, if you have any. And don't worry about sounding crazy to me. I've seen what those people can do, and nothing sounds crazy to me anymore.
Fucking yes. I've kept notes. I've drawn things. Time to bring it out. The muffled pictures, everything on the fucking table. See, everybody, the goddamn scribbles of the Swede.
He looks at it perplexingly.
He ignores you completely.
I mean, the person who had the most recent contact was Ben. Because he literally fought like 70 million dudes on a ship.
You did fight somebody.
Oh, I did, in my pajamas.
You fought Daniel Weatherford.
Pajama battle.
Da, 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 da.
You can tell them about that if you wish.
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay.
I've had a run-in with the cult as well. While we were travelling from America, in fact. They tried to jump us on the ship and we were having none of it.
We made, Fred Milton speaks, we made some enemies of them when we were there trying to stamp them out in Boston. They're a lot stronger than we thought they were. You have the thing. You have the item, don't you? It's with you. They didn't get it.
Do we show him the fake item? I don't think we should. Like, we should.
No, because we're supposed to be trusting him. So
Yeah. Also,
yeah,
he
we've
seems to know
got
what
it.
he's talking
Maybe show him the fake one first, see if he recognizes it as fake, and then show him the real one.
I think that would just upset him.
Yeah, but he's a bullshitter if he doesn't recognize it. He's full of shit.
I guess.
But aren't we supposed to be trusting him? Like, we've worked with him for a long time.
Well, Milton.
Well,
Yeah, we worked with
Milton
Milton.
Barnes, you mean the new man? This
No, not Albert Johnson. No, Milton.
Yeah, like I said, we can just show it to him. Like, we can trust these people.
Yeah, we shoved the new guy out the way and we're like, we're talking to our boy.
You're going to show him.
What's up?
You're going to show him
Yeah,
the
we're
tear.
showing him. We show him the
Oh,
tear.
thank God. You've not lost it. I feared that they might have sent people after it.
Oh, they did.
Oh,
But we
Yeah, they
protected.
tried.
good. There's definitely something bad going on in that farmhouse, Albert says. He looks
It
to
looks. Yeah, it looks very fortified from the inside.
I sent a few of my men in to investigate, and they had to run back to cover for their lives, shot at by the people in there. But they managed to see some things through the windows, and let's just say it's not a pretty sight. I don't know where they got all the bodies from, but apparently it's like a slaughterhouse in there. That's when I brought in the reinforcements, and more importantly, you lot. My men don't know what to expect in there, and they wouldn't believe me if I told them. I ask that you go with them when we raid the farmhouse and make sure my soldiers don't get their minds torn to shreds by whatever's inside. You know a lot more about the entities than they do, after all. I don't intend to send you in naked, though. I have equipment for you all to use. I have .32 automatic pistols, and if anybody's good with a rifle, I've got .22 bolt actions.
I shall procure myself one of those.
He gives you 3 reloads as well.
I feel like I want to retcon that I brought dynamite.
Say again, by the way, what kind of rifle was
A
this?
.22 bolt action.
What a .22? That's a pea shooter.
He balks at you holding dynamite. If we can avoid destroying,
No, don't worry. It's just in a bag.
He's holding it up in his face. Look what I got!
I'm not just holding it in my hand. It is in a bag.
In that case, he does say what I have him written here saying is that I strongly urge you not to use the more traditional methods of dealing with this problem, and I know those methods you may be thinking of. I'd like to preserve as much evidence as I can, and if possible, bring people in for questioning, especially any of the Weatherfords. We've been after them for a long time, and if we can get any of them alive, but if you must kill them, then I will not hold that against you. They are dangerous.
I comment that the dynamite isn't for people.
Do you have any descriptions for these weather forts so we don't, accidentally put a bullet in that?
They will have changed since I last saw them, but if your associate there has encountered at least one of them before, he will recognize him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. By the way,
it's dark,
Pico, I
probably
have to ask again. Are you sure this is a .22 bolt action rifle?
.22 bolt action rifle, that is what he has given you.
Man is in the chat is saying that the .22 of today did not exist back then, and it's probably a .22 LR something.
Oh, I see.
Which is also shit.
Apparently, I'm just
I'm
weirded
just
out.
surprised it isn't just like a Lee
fine,
Enfield
it's
or
a rifle.
something.
I figured like it would be like.
Oh, he's giving you a .22, and he's offering.
This guy's a dick.
He's offering you
this shit off surplus market, mate.
He's offering you .32 automatic pistols.
May I do a quick sketch of his description of the thing?
You do not have time for that because
grab two of the pistols and you wield them.
You do not have time for that because after you have finished this, gunfire violently erupts from inside the farmhouse, whereupon more withering cover fire is given by the soldiers.
How are we supposed to like approach the barn house
while they're shooting and
undercover? I guess.
You'll have to sneak in.
Now's your chance. Take those men and storm the place. We'll be right behind you upon your word. Try to take people alive if possible, but if you have to kill them, do so. I know full well they're a lot more dangerous alive than dead. Good luck.
Okay.
He is pointing you towards 4 soldiers.
Those are the people we're supposed to take inside.
They are coming with you.
Okay. How many people are like outside and holding position for covering fire?
You've got about a dozen that are firing on the front of the farmhouse right now.
Nice.
At the various windows where people have been shooting. Nobody is shooting out. You have a clear
hearing check.
You have a clear run towards the farmhouse.
Well, Schmidt, as a seasoned soldier and veteran of the war, takes the lead on this one, I would say, and basically forms everybody up in 2 lines and says, and basically takes, I would say, like Hasse and Dr. Grant go on the left with 2 soldiers, and Schmidt and Violet and 2 soldiers go on the right, and we basically, as they give us cover fire, run at the house and then split up to the left and to the right.
I'm not entirely sure.
Because you and Ben are the 2 with military experience.
I'm not entirely sure.
I go with one.
Is going in there.
There's one entrance that you can see to this house, and it is at the front. The house is a sort of
like to the left of the entrance and to the right. You know,
the house.
That's why I'm saying Grant goes with
the
one.
The house is a sort of L Tetris piece with the shorter part that sticks out at the bottom right, and the entrance is right at that corner for it.
Did you say there was a barn?
There is a barn. It is not in. It's currently being held by the military forces.
All right. Okay.
It's not close enough to the main house. So basically, it's a straight run towards the front door that you can see.
Yeah, that ain't happening for the Swede. He's not going in there.
You can ask if there are any other entrances. They might know.
Nah,
we can perfectly happily say that it has his best left off behind because he's more of a.
He's not a soldier. There's gunfire. He wants to have pictures of things, and he's seen dudes, so he will quite happily set up outside somewhere in case something comes out.
Okay, so Hasi is staying behind.
Does the lady want to stay behind?
No.
Okay.
So,
I got guns.
You 3 and 4 soldiers are going to go to the door. Are you going to run? Are you going to walk? Are you going to samba?
Guess we wait for the
run probably.
Yeah, we signal for the covering fire to start, and then run for the door.
You get a round of covering fire. In fact, one of the people covering fire actually manages to, you think from the scream, hit somebody inside.
Yay!
What a baller!
Give him a thumbs up.
You turn back and just be like 2 thumbs up and keep running.
Like 8.
So you run?
Yes.
You run. Nobody shoots at you. To begin with.
Oh.
That's comforting.
I mean, if they keep up the covering fire, they shouldn't be able to. Yeah.
Unfortunately, one person from the upstairs manages to get a shot at one of the soldiers that's with you and hits him.
Oh no! Soldier guy.
It's a grazing wound, but he stops and is shouted to come back. So you've lost a soldier.
Where's he been hit?
He has been shot in the leg.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So with 3 soldiers, you get to the front door.
I'm interested. You're not doing any sanity checks for being under fire.
Nah.
It's not really a mythos thing. I feel like it'd be more like an emotional.
It's a really stressful thing, though.
2 of you are very used.
But
2
I
of
was
you are
about
very
to say
used
the
to it.
2 of us are
2 of
really
you have got used to it, and I rolled for Violet, and she didn't, and she didn't suffer any effects.
Nice.
So
So here's
Sweet.
my question though.
Yeah.
Are we gonna actually set up next to the door, or do we literally just want to, out of full sprint, slam into that door and open it up?
Well, at the moment they're being held down by suppression fire. So, do you want to wait for that to stop and then for them to get ready to shoot you?
No, gents, fucking Schmidt goes first and basically slams open that fucking door immediately.
You
and
slam
goes in.
open the door, and I want you to make a sanity check as soon as you do because you're the first one in.
That's weird.
Okay, so I roll a 100,
D100,
right?
and you have to roll equal or
I
less.
rolled a 41,
In
and I
that
have
case-
53 right now.
You were sort of expecting it, but as you burst through the door, you see a strewn quantity of dead bodies and various parts of people.
Oh, so just like the trenches back in World War One.
Kind of, yes. Only a little worse.
It's just like in one of my Japanese trenches.
This room that you are in has a door immediately to the left, and a little further down the corridor is another door to the left. The corridor turns to the right. You can
Sorry, go ahead.
you can you know that there are still people somewhere on this floor because gunshots did come from here. Anybody who has a cult can roll an occult roll, or you can just roll a cult.
I'll roll a cult. Let's do it.
I don't have a cult.
I don't have
I'll
a
roll
call.
anyway.
You can still roll. It's
I'll
five.
just roll.
Oh shit, my cult's
28.
82.
It's 5%. So if anyone...
45, so I failed that, I guess.
I got 48, but my score is 82. So.
Okay, Violet, you see that strewn across the walls in blood are various occult symbols that many people believe are protection from the devil. You, with your experience of Cthulhu mythos, know that it does not do that.
Wait. In the sense that it doesn't work because the devil isn't real and therefore these are stupid, or it doesn't work because, or it doesn't do that because it does something mythosy instead.
You just think that it's more folklore-ish sort of occult, in that it's got no real true basis to it.
Okay, yeah. So they're just like throwing the kitchen
The
sink.
whole corridor, and you think this whole building has a stench of death. There is a door to your left, a door slightly further down the corridor to your left, and the corridor winds, after you go a little bit down, to the right. Bearing in mind this is a place where you know there are armed cultists.
Yeah. From having kind of like seen, from the outside where the windows and so are located, can I infer that going through the door on the left would actually lead me into a room that would have the windows where
Yes.
people were shooting from?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Well, then I would gesture towards people or like say to people that on the left door there's going to be enemies set up there.
Alright, let's set up and take cover then.
Like, so I go up to the door basically, and I very quickly peek inside, like just a quick peek, like
The
just click, click.
soldiers are waiting with their guns ready.
I'm following his practiced lead.
Are you going
Well,
to...
like I said, I peek inside. Do I see anything?
Are you opening the door to peek?
Oh, the door is closed. Okay.
The door is closed. All these doors are closed.
I gesture to people to like stay away from the door, and then I use the back of my gun to kind of like push the door open quickly and like pull back my gun so that the door like swings open.
You are shot at.
I figured.
Fortunately, the person is a terrible shot and misses wildly.
Cool. Can I take a very quick peek, like just to ascertain where someone is?
This is a dining room, and on the blood-soaked table that spreads across most of this room is a freshly cut open corpse, which seems to have been in the process of being eaten. Roll a sanity check.
Me and Pleika, or just him?
Everyone
I'm
that can
peeking.
see,
Well,
I'm
obviously,
thinking-
including the soldiers that are with you.
God, I did a 92.
You fail.
How much do I lose?
I will let you know when the other people roll.
Oh, okay.
49.
That's equal or low. In that case, if
7.
I got away with that. 'cause mine
anybody that
is-
passed suffers no sanity loss,
Score.
the soldiers and Schmidt
Mhm.
lose 3.
Okay, back to 50.
You're back down to,
50, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so have I seen where the guy...
Yes, the guy-
Is it just one guy? Are there
it's
multiple
just
guys?
one man.
What it-
He's
Okay.
taking cover behind a chair.
Okay, well, that is not going to give him any good cover.
No, it is not. He is
Can we take a shot at him?
Yeah, I was about...
We're going to enter into the combat initiative order now. He is armed with what looks like a smallish revolver.
He's already fired, though, right?
He's already
Yeah.
fired, but that was basically he was ready for that action, and so
Okay.
he shot as
He
soon
was
as the
just
door opened.
looking at the door. Yeah.
Right.
That's why I just kicked it open.
What's the initiative order based on again?
It's based on dexterity, and I have it right here.
Cool.
Martin
Right,
Schmidt, you go first because you have a dex of 16.
I figured. How far away from the door is the guy with the chair? Is he on the complete other side
He's
of
on
the
the
room?
other side of the room.
Okay, so basically trying to like do a leap at him or something would not work
You'd
out
have
because
to-
he's too far away.
You'd run. You'd
But
have to
it's-
run across. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too far away. Okay, well, I mean, I'm at the door frame, so I kind of just like, I swing my rifle into the room and I take aim and I shoot at him.
Okay, roll me a rifle check.
Yeah, well, I have it. Come on, 72.
But
I have a 70%.
yeah, you narrowly miss. Basically, what happens is it would have hit if the darn back of the chair hadn't blocked the shot for him.
Jeez, that's a
How fortunate.
dirty chair.
Impales itself into the wood. Hussey doesn't get his go because he's not here. Daniel,
Right, I guess I'll aim and take a shot with my trusty pistol.
take a shot with your pistol.
Right, I've got to roll. Sorry.
You do have to roll.
70. What's my? Oh, handgun 75.
In that case, you pass and you deal. Yeah, you just shoot the guy straight in the head.
Oh, I was trying to arrest him. Never mind.
Nope, you get him straight in the head because you wouldn't have got him in the head had he not have tried to dodge. Because the first shot from Schmidt startled him, and then the second shot, as he was moving, you just shoot him straight in the head and kill him. Stone dead. One dead cultist.
He's not only dead, he's also stoned. That's messed up.
Bad times.
You hear commotion from the... Now that you have a moment, there is a door in this room leading to the right. You think it might also lead... You remember the original corridor where they said there was a second door? You think this door might lead to the same room? You hear commotion from within that room.
Okay. You said that there were stairs going up in the hallway as well, right?
I said that there was the corridor turned. I didn't say there were stairs.
I'm sorry. Okay, well, I tell two of the soldiers to keep an eye on that turn of the hallway.
They nod and move out.
And then I'd say we go for the next room and we clear this thing one by one.
Go for the next room. All right.
And what do you guys think? Well, wait. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying this to people, like, we should go to the next room.
I mean, yeah, well, that's most sensible.
I'm
We should
not going to argue.
I know it's not super. I want to check the guy to make sure he's actually dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go
Well,
over,
you check him. Yeah, sure.
Go over to him and make your choice of it's your choice of first aid or medicine, really.
What's my first aid and medicine?
Your first aid is at 61.
Medicine's 72 and
Medicine's-
medicine's...
Yeah.
Wait. First aid 61 and 70. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll make a medicine roll then.
Make a medicine roll.
49. Yeah.
He is very dead.
He's extraordinary. So I think if I misrolled that, I'll be like, not sure, and his head's like open on the floor.
Maybe you should check the guy who was being eaten as well.
So, what are you guys going to do
Oh,
in these...
I'm gonna pocket his revolver.
It
I'm
is,
gonna reload
a
it and
point,
pocket
it is a .32 revolver. It has 2 bullets left in it.
Yep, I'll stick it in my pocket.
Pocket revolver.
With the, I think there isn't safeties on revolvers at this point. I assume. I'll just be
No,
careful with it.
I think there are safeties on
Yeah.
revolvers for sure.
Yeah.
It's just a little
Pockets, right?
it's just a little mechanical click on the
So-
side of the uniform. But
In
What
that
are you
case,
doing?
yeah, I'll pocket it.
Time is of the essence.
Well, once
considering
again,
there is active agents.
we move up to the next door, which I take it is closed, correct?
Presently, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And we assume this door leads to the next room.
We assume
right?
this door leads to the next room, yes.
Okay. Well, I'd say we stack up. Same thing that we did before. We have one soldier with us, Violet, Daniel, and me. We stack up again, and once again, I do the same opening that I did before. Back of the rifle, knock that thing open, and see if I can if I get shot at, or take a quick peek to see what's in the room.
Wait, before we do that, stupid question. There wasn't any mirrors in the dining room, was there?
No.
Mirrors?
Yeah, I was thinking we could use a mirror to with the door
No
open to
mirrors.
peek around.
Oh, okay, all right.
mirrors.
he's thinking like a SWAT man.
Fucking SWAT right here, seriously.
No mirrors. So you're going to open the
Oh.
door.
Yep.
This room has nobody in it.
Okay. What
I was
does
gonna
it
say-
look like?
This is an extremely gruesome kitchen with various parts of human bodies hanging from hooks from the ceiling and being cooked in a large stew pot. Roll sanity checks.
Oh yeah.
I sure love this house.
This is not a nice place.
27. I did it though.
That's fine. No sanity loss for you.
26.
No sanity loss for you.
63.
Sanity loss for you.
Bummer.
You only lose 1 point.
Okay.
I was gonna say I'd have a makeup mirror, and then I was like, actually, she really wouldn't.
That'd have been really good, but no.
There are various tools and cutlery and all sorts of things. They are all rusty and covered in dried blood. They don't appear to have had much use. There is a door to the right, which you think will lead back to the hallway. There is also a door to the left. It is shut.
Can I assume that the door to the left might be what's it called?
An outward-facing room, as in it could be a room.
Yeah, like a supply chamber or something.
At a guess, you might think it might be a pantry.
Oh yeah, pantry. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for.
There is no sound of gunfire from the main corridor.
Okay, do you guys think we should? I mean, we know the other door leads to the corridor, right?
That's the educated guess. Yes, you presume it would. Yes.
Okay. Guys, do you think we should check that other door, or is it just going to be more horrible corpses?
I mean, I assume we need to check everywhere, because usually with cult stuff, there's an underground area, and we need to check every room to find it.
All right. Same procedure as last year, or anyone have any ideas, any changes, or should we just open the door same way as we did before?
I think so. Since my delicious mirror idea is no good.
Right. Who is?
I mean, maybe one of the.
Since I haven't asked before, who's actually standing by the door? Who's standing a bit further back?
I'm standing a little bit further back, partly because those are obviously faster than me, but also because I'm by far the largest target.
You have the soldier next to you. The soldier has his gun aimed at the door.
I'll be beside the door then.
You two are beside the door then.
Yeah.
Okay,
same,
who's
yeah.
opening it?
Well, again, me.
Same old.
Yeah,
You're
procedure. Yeah.
Okay.
The same way that I do it. Like I said, so I'm not a target. So I use the rifle and I knock it open.
Bonk.
You open the pantry door.
This is a pantry.
The pantry is empty of anything except a large pile of decaying bodies.
Fucking knew it.
Sanity checks, please.
That's why I didn't want to go in there, but I guess we have to.
We got to check him.
59. I lost sanity.
95. Ouch.
97.
Jeez.
Well, you all lose 3 points of sanity.
Including the soldier, I take it.
Yep, the good news is none of you are going to lose any more sanity from seeing bodies.
Hooray, I'm used to dead bodies.
At least small piles of bodies.
Oh no!
I mean, I've seen or Schmidt's seen horribly mutilated bodies, obviously, as the Grant, but I guess not like that.
Sad thing is that poor Hassie's just standing there going.
He hasn't known about bodies.
Oh, he's had a camera up. He's ready when it blows up. He wants a nice picture of the
Looking at the
explosion.
pile of bodies that has startled you, completely detracted your attention from the large creature that suddenly lunges towards Schmidt. This is a creature that requires a Cthulhu Mythos roll from anyone that has it.
Oh yeah.
As you are looking at a large, slightly...
I got fucking 20!
41.
You've seen this creature before.
Who, me or?
Daniel.
It's Dome Reaper.
On the train... on the train when you were on your way back from Liverpool.
Oh, that wasn't very nice. It made me have some sanity
issues. It is
issues.
a very, very large, winged, clawed monster with a huge beak that is screeching at you in an inhuman tone that requires a sanity check from all of you as it lunges.
Okay. I roll 82. Goodbye, my sanity.
Are we sanity checking on that thing as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
40.
40.
42.
42. Anybody that passes loses 1.
Oh.
And anybody that doesn't pass, like me.
You lose 1d6.
Ew. Wait, do I have to? No, you roll it, right?
You lose 1. You are very fortunate.
Yay!
The soldier that was next to you was not so fortunate and starts screaming at the top of his lungs as this thing attacks Schmidt.
Quick roll.
I do a dodge roll.
Fortunately, missed anyway.
Oh.
And we
Like
enter,
has iframes.
and we enter into initiative order.
I just realized, Kiko, sorry. The rifle that I have, does that have a bayonet at the front?
It
Bayonet.
does. It does have a
it would
bayonet
have come
at the
with one,
front.
yeah.
It does.
It
Okay,
does.
all right. Okay.
I heard that as Bayonetta at the front.
That's what I heard.
Does it
Yeah, I
have
was like,
Bayonetta on
It
the
does
front?
have-
Just says it again,
That's a
"Don't
really
touch
useful
me."
weapon attachment.
It does have one at the front, yes. Initiative goes as follows.
Naughty little mythos.
It is Martin's turn as he has this thing directly right next to him.
Well, I. So what does it look like?